Salamat po. The reason why I am with my family is today is Sunday. I usually stay home. As a matter of fact, I purposely go home to Davao just to be one day with the family, linggo. But, the reason why I said, come along, is ang asawa ko, hindi niyo alam, Ilonggo yan from Iloilo. Abansen niya yan sila. That's why sabi ko, come along, tingnan ninyo yung Panay Island ninyo kung nandyan pa, maganda pa. At Secretary Leonor Briones, meron tayong secretary dito, a very low-key person. He does not want even people to mind him. As a matter of fact, it would be better for him if he's not... well, for one thing, I said, you have to come home, maybe we have time to talk to the officials kung may panahon pa, and let's see what we can do. Si Secretary Mark Villar, and the other members of the cabinet. The other members of the cabinet is really Secretary Roy Simato. Matagal ng taga Davao yan. Ewan ko kung bakit nandito siya ngayon. Saan ba ang bahay mo? Doon sa Davao? Roy Simato is an Ilocano. Many years ago, he was assigned as in a division sa Davao. Doon kami nagkilala. And if things would not go well, he's a candidate for another cabinet na siya ngayon eh. But this time I transfer him to a more busier job. So, kaya ako sabi niya na nandito pala yung misis niya. Governor Rodora Cadyao and local chief executives of the province of Antique, Member Representative Paulo Javier and other members of the House of Representatives, Chairman Philippine Sports Commission William Ramirez, and other commissioners present, Secretary General Assistant Tunisito Umali, and the dedicated and hardworking officials and staff of Palarong Pambansa, Most Reverend Bishop Jose Romeo Lazo, and members of the faithful, Ms. Elma Muros Posadas, and aspiring young athletes of the 2017 Palarong Pambansa, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ang mga minahal kong kababayan. I was looking at yung replica ng Philippine Eagle. If you take about 1/3 of the entire dimension of the size, ulo, pakpak, paa, then that is the Philippine Eagle, you will see in Davao City when you go to the Eagle Reservation. There are about 19 left, and we're really trying to preserve the habitat. They mate in the air. Doon yan sila sa taas loving para magkaroon ng anak. The problem is we do not have the forest anymore. Civilization has crept in all corners of Mindanao, and sadly, there are places which are not really conducive to wildlife, or there is none at all because of the violence there that still going on. Alam mo, pagka binasa ko itong speech ko, 2 pages, so I can do it in a minute and a half, and we say goodbyes. So, sandali lang ako, but there are things which I have to convey to you, to impart. sa inyong mga bata, to which this moment belongs to you. Inyo to eh. Meron na akong gustong sabihin, short, but one is that you must be by now, must have the sense of responsibility. And while we are spending, kayo ang pinakamalaki. This time, education gets the lion's share sa pera, sa distribution. Next is agriculture, then health. Malaki talaga ang investment ko dito sa inyo kasi ganito yan eh. Kayo yung tatay pati nanay bukas. Yang bukas na yan is just a few sunrise and sunsets. And it's just around the corner. It's just in the wing. Pagkatapos kayo na. So we're trying to build competitiveness, fairness, values, and the sense of goodwill sa inyong mga bata. To know, to get each other, make friends from other provinces, Ilonggo, Cebuano, Waray, and the spirit of building your muscles, stamina, and physical being. That's one. Kaya kami gumagastos ng malaki. Yun ang target namin. In the cabinet meeting, it was really agreed unanimously na kayo yung pinakamalaki ang bibigyan. Then it's agriculture because it's food and in the health and so on and so forth. Na ngayon, meron na kayo niyan. Sense of discipline. Discipline itong mga laro. You have to build something. It's not all physical. It's also mental and the desire to win. Kailangan ko yan na ipasa sa inyo bago ako mamatay. Sabi nga yung kanta na yan, tatanda at lilipas din ako. It is my sacred duty to transfer to you the values to which we hold very, very dear to us. Ngayon, ang Pilipinas hindi masyado mayaman. We are not struggling, but we are making strides, big ones. As a matter of fact, all financial quarters would tell you that we are the fastest rising ngayon. And we may still be able to hit the 6.8 growth economic rate. So, yan na lang ang habol natin. But sinasabi ko sa lahat, at lahat na from my office down, if we can stop graft and corruption at wala talagang nakawan at yung pera na ibigay sa departamento dadating talaga doon sa baba at gastusin para for purpose of which it was appropriated, okay na tayo. O wala lang korupsyon, okay na tayo. Ano, what is the reason why kung bakit noon hirap na hirap tayo kasi nawawala yung pera. So I'm very, very strict. I am not the most righteous person in this planet. But because I was elected by your sacred vote, and my covenant with the people is that, I just mentioned a few. And even during the presidential debates, you must have heard of me just bullet lang. So I realized that 1.5 minutes would not really matter kung ganon. Sinabi ko lang, I will stop graft and corruption. I am on my way forward. I have fired several officials. Hindi ko na lang pinablis ang pangalan and even the dismissal kasi yung iba, tinignan ko yung mga records, may mga anak na doktor, may mga anak na sa Manila Medical. Sa ayaw kong hiyain. And even a cabinet member and a close friend of another agency who was with me since 1988 when I started as mayor. I've been mayor for 23 years. Ayaw kong gawin yan sa mga kaibigan. But you know, I said, sa lahat na taga-gobyerno dito, huwag kayong magkamali diyan. Talagang uupakan ko kayo. I'm not joking. If I can find friends, lalo na hindi ko kilala, and goes down with the local governments, pati barangay, corruption must stop or we will never rise as a nation. Ilang taon na, without being specific about the period, ganun talaga, and it is always justified. And there's always the threat of prosecution, pero hanggang dyan lang. Hanggang dyan lang, tapos kakalimutan. Pagka ganun, bakit hintayin pa kita? Dyan na mismo. I can maybe forgive you, sabihin mo, Mayor, na demanda ako dahil dalawa ang asawa ko, okay lang yan. Bata. Pero wag mong kunin yung panggastos mo sa dalawang pamilya sa gobyerno, ha? Hanap ka ng ibang negosyo. Then the second is, pinaka-importante ito, yung sense of love mo sa bayan mo. Huwag mong hayaan na this country will deteriorate and go to the dogs. So when I became a legit candidate, ang sinabi ko na there will be no corruption. Second is, I will suppress drugs at all costs, at any cost. Kaya ako nakasukaso, there are allegations about being prosecuted before this court and that court. But there are stupid statements, just like America, for example. If they can explain to me how in hell were they able to invade Iraq under the excuse or pretext of weapons of mass destruction na wala man pala, and creating chaos in the country and killing Saddam for nothing. Now the Middle East is on fire. They also undermine Gaddafi. If they can explain to me why they invaded a country and Shanghai kidnapped President Noriega of Panama to stand trial in New York, and he is there serving time. Kung ma-explain nila sa akin yan, and if they can explain why they went to Vietnam just to kill people, and why is it that for every one white, there are 2 black Americans dead every day? Unless they can explain it to me, I would say again, State Department, you go to hell. And don't with me. Bakit? Kasi hinihiritan ko talaga. Death, it will not stop. I am warning everybody into drugs or connected with drugs. If you continue with your business, you will die. When I was mayor, I warned the criminals there sa Davao. That's why makita mo ang Davao. Well, ayaw ko na magyabang, pareho man tayo Pilipino. If you can also be Davao City someday, I would be most happy. Lungga ng asawa ko. Kaya ara sa dere ko, ubanta. Tanaw sa damo tong hilunggo dito sa Antique, gahuwat sa aton. So, to me, we're all Filipinos. I'm beyond politics, actually. Pero itong droga na ito, sinabi ko sa kanila, sa mga kriminal, go out of Davao City. Do not do drugs here. Do not destroy our children. And do not destroy my city. Because if there is no progress, no money, I cannot pay the teachers, I cannot pay the policemen, I cannot pay the cleaners, I cannot pay the doctors and everybody. I have to make the city productive. If you are there, it will not happen. And so, pag ayaw ninyong umalis, papatayin ko talaga kayo. Now, when I became president, I gave the same warning. Huwag ninyong galawin ang mga anak namin. Bakit? Yun ang aming kinabukasan. Dito sa stage na ito, lang bilyonaryo dito na me, with my savings and a higher salary, maybe I can stay in the hospital for 7 months. Bayad lahat. But after that, kailangan patayin na ako ng mga anak ko, pati asawa ko. Ubos ng pera. Cut off everything. Oxygen pati lahat. Alam mo, dadating ang araw at aabutin ninyo yan na pag kami ay matanda na, hindi naman tayo may milyonaryo dito, kayo ang bibili ng medisina namin. Kayo, ikaw kakahungit sang lugaw, sang mo mama, papa. Yung iba, can acquire properties, but at an old age, ang father, mother, cancer, kidney, you have to mortgage. Karamihan yung kinita nila, iprenda para lang makabili ng medisina, pagkain, oxygen, makabayad sa ospital. And as you know, there is always the cycle of life. You have to live and you have to die. And it's always a reduced income and you impose hardships on the family. And then, there are 4 million contaminated now. Sabi ng sila mga Amerikano, mga forensics nila, constant use of shabu for 6 months to 1 year would shrink the brain of a person. If the brain is shrunk, you are insane. Ano yung itong 4 million? How many of them I really do not know? I do not have the accurate count. But palagay mo na lang at a very conservative number of 800 insane person. Anong gawin ko dyan sa kanila? What will I do with them? Inutil na eh. Ang masakit dyan ganito. If they, may abogado dito marami. If they commit a crime under the influence of drugs, at during the time when at the stage when the brain is already shrunk, he does not commit any crime. Kasi pagdating mo sa korte, sabihin niya, Your Honor, may we have a preliminary hearing on the sanity or insanity of my client to determine whether or not he can stand trial. And he understands or will be able to. Pag sinabi ng doktor, tapos iba ang sagot, wala, ako, pasyal, gano'n. So what's your name? Wala, ikaw, kapatid ko, ikaw. So he cannot stand trial. Ngayon, baski na sane siya, pagdating ng panahon, pagpahuli sa kanya, insane na. Sira na rin ang utak. He cannot stand trial. He cannot be punished. He cannot go to jail. Now, I ask you, Filipino, sino ngayon ang managot nito? Tell me. I went a step back, 3 steps. Sa recorded drug-related killings in the past, no specific precedent. 77,000 drug-related crimes. Sinong magbayad nito? Kaya ako nandito ngayon. I want to communicate with you. Sino ang hulihin ko magbayad dito lahat? The 10,000 son of a bitch yung mga namatay, yun, numero nila yun. Pero hindi umabot. In Davao, when I was mayor, maybe 600, 700 for 23 years. Tama yan. Because my orders to the police and to the military now is go out and hunt for them. Not to kill them, but to arrest them. If still possible. But they confront you violently, then shoot the idiot. Because either ikaw o siya ang mamatay. Now, I continue, makita niyo sa TV, I continue to lose 3, 4, 5 on the average, 3 military, pati police. Extrajudicial killing. Hindi amin yun. Kanila, remember that I fired 9 generals when I became president for being into drugs. Now, what do you think is really happening? Hindi kung, barilin na naman kaagad. Bakit ako Why do you have to lose a policeman or a military man? Kalaki ko ng gastos mag-training yan para ipapatay ko lang. So those people who keep on hurting, either ayaw, they cannot accept defeat. Or they just want really something to talk about. But I'm beyond that. I cannot be re-elected anymore. Ang akin, may problema ako. Droga, terrorism. It's raging in Mindanao. Yung mga traditional in PA, MIMN, we are talking. We're starting to talk with the NPAs. Nagalit lang kasi ako, kasi even before the termination of the ceasefire, pinagbabaril na nila ang mga military ko, pati police. But we are restarting because, you know, we cannot fight forever. I told them. Kayo mga NPA nakikinig. We have been fighting for 50 years. You want to fight for 50 years? Another 50 years? Hindi na kinahiya sa sarili ninyo. And all of this time, 50 years, we're killing Filipinos. Buti sana kung... So we're talking. So what's the problem now? Kung walang terrorist kung pati droga, the Philippines by now would have been heaven. But because of terrorism, dyan sa Bohol ngayon, may hinahabol pa sila. I told the military, huwag kayong matulog. Hanapin nyo, patayin ninyo yan. I want them dead. Huwag mong ibigay sa akin yan ng buhay. Yung mga terrorism na they cut other people's throat, slit it and just to decapitate them. They are animals. But if you want me to be an animal, sanay rin ako dyan. Pareho lang tayo. I can dish out more than what you can 50 times over. Kainin pa kita sa harap ko. Bigyan mo lang ako suka pati asin. I'll eat you. Totoo. Pagalitin mo ako, bigyan mo ako yung terorista. Bigyan mo ako asin pati suka. Kakainin ko yung atay niya. Kasi do not, no quarters given, no quarters asked for these people. Shabu, drop the shabu today, and there will be no trouble tomorrow. I assure you, not even a single fight. Terrorista, you go out. You have been influenced by the ISIS. That's the mother of all terroristic organizations, the ISIS. Ayaw ninyong hantuan. Di sige. Maybe you can blow up my place, place a grenade there. Ang ayaw ko, kasi minsan sa Zamboanga National High School, nilagyan nila ng IED, explosives. Tapos sa Marawi University, nilagyan nila ng granada. Sabi ko, do not force my hand into it. Ako taga Cebu ang tatay ko. But my mother is a half Maranao because my lola is Mara. Ang lolo ko Chinese. But my father is from Danao City, Cebu. So I know Mindanao with the fingers of my hand. Do not force my hand into it. Kasi pag nag-martial law ako sa Mindanao, tatapusin ko ang lahat ng problema. Whether it is really terrorism or a boundary sa lupa o away ng pamilya, tatapusin ko yan. Lahat na. Wala na akong iiwanan ng problema dyan. Even the slightest paputokan ng dynamita dyan sa dagat. Pag ako ang nagmarasalo, sabihin ko sa Navy, pasabugin mo ang bangka pati ang tao. Kaya kayong mga terorista sa Mindanao, I'm warning you. I hate it. I do not want it. But I said, do not force me to do it because it will be a very sad day for all of us. Hindi lang yung terrorist tapusin ko. Lahat na. Pati ugali namin, kasali na ako. Magbago talaga yan. No more arrogance and tatapusin ko lahat. Kaya wag ninyo akong pilitin. Kasi magbago talaga ang Mindanao. I will lock down Mindanao and tatapusin ko yung mga problema, pati tao. Human rights. Do not commit a wrong. Do not commit a crime. You behave and I will defend your human rights and your life itself with my life. Pero bababuhin mo ang Pilipino, tangina. Hindi ko matanggap yan. Hindi sila, hindi ko mapaton sa behavior na, you know, Mindanao, a third of Mindanao's population, puro Ilonggo. Asawa ko. So, kailangan ako pumunta dito to speak about goodwill. Then, last video, you have to go back to ROTC, the Reserve Officers Training Corps. Kasi yung mga ROTC, yun yung may training, going reserve officers na eh. Because if there is really violence, anarchy, ang makaalam niyan, ang marunong mag-handle ng M16, M14 o mortar, yung mga ROTC, yun yan silang mag-guide sa mga civilian na walang alam. I just do not know what was the rationale o rationale ng utak ng mga, at there was this hazing incident in USD that resulted in the death of about 1 or 2. Tapos, I think it was Congress scrapped entirely the ROTC. Diyos ko po, that was really a very short-sighted. We could have just investigated and placed to put to prison. Bakit mo tanggalin yung ROTC? Kung magkagulo tayo, kayong mga ROTC ang magturo sa civilian kung paano mag-cap ng baril, paano mag-load sa magazine, paano mag-repair, and how to fight. Wala tayo ngayong residual. Tinanggal nilang ROTC, yung iba ayaw. Well, or would you rather that I would come up with a law that would conscript you? Do you know what is conscription? Conscript? You are required by the government, kagaya ng Israel, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia. You are required to undergo military training compulsory. So make a choice. Either you have ROTC training so that we can depend on you. Baka yung gulo na yan, mangyari, walang matanda na kami. So you take care of the country. Eh kung hindi ka marunong mag-handle ng M16, edi papareho tayo lahat in-hotel. Kami may alam, matanda na, kainin ko na lang yung 45. Kasi papabutan ka ng terorista, puputod lang ka ng ulo. So, yung sabi ko, I'm here to announce it that I'm working on a law that would restore the Reserve Officers Training Corps. Then I can be assured that the next generation, or ngayon, at least marunong kayong humawak ng baril, marunong kayong mag-maneuver kung paano akyatin yung bukid na yan. At marunong kayong magdepensa ng bayan ninyo. Who else would defend you? You always ask America for help. They will not die for you. Kayo ang magpakamatay sa bayan natin. That is a message from a father to the nation. Kayo ang magsakripisyo. Pag kami, kung maabutan ngayon kami, panahonin niyo, kayo na. Kunin niyo lahat ng pag-aaral paano ibigin ang bayan ninyo at pagserbihan kung sakali kailangan. In the meantime, I said, we are pouring money on the education sector. You have the biggest appropriation in the annual budget. And for the rest of my term, it will be. Because I've always believed na ang edukasyon would save us someday. But then again, I would want to stress, huwag mo na magpakpak, nagmamadali. Take muna dyan. Ako nga mag-uwi ng chopper, bago mabangga ako sa bukid niyan. Gusto ko, I would talk about population, sana. But this is not the proper time. But I will again discuss this with the cabinet. We have to do some family planning. Our population really is not in parity with our resources. Hindi ba kabot? Dili ka tabla ba? Even tabla. So, but there will be some forums on that. I leave it to the elders dito sa ating bayan. In the meantime, I'd like to congratulate Secretary Briones and the rest of the guys, the governor, the mayor, who had a hand in making this Palarong Pambansa a successful one. To you, I said, to whom this moment rightfully belongs, you deserve the medals and the honors na papasalamat ko nandiyan for the participation and for the spirit. Ngayon, yung Region 11 nandito. Siguro mga 200 kabaka, obra na. Te, pag abot mo, let me know so that we can eat together. Te, siguro may ara nga prize nga kwarta. 50,000 each, okay na? Maghanap tayo ng pera. Salamat po. May I continue with my talk with just a declaration? I now declare 2017 Palarong Pambansa officially open. Mabuhay! Mabuhay ang Pilipino. So huwag ninyong kalamutan. Do not forget my message to you.
So once again, we would like to thank our